do eat red meat. I just don't eat tons. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure everyone's got their favorite barbecue joint to suggest. So
Okay, I want to hear this.
Jack.
Here you go.
Battle. We're all very passionate about it.
Yeah, no, I heard it. That's how I know about it.
We're all a little crazy for it. But I definitely want this to be about you guys, not about me talking to her.
Let's interview you.
Let's see.
Where'd you grow up?
Right here.
Oh, right there.
I don't want to be the one asking her questions. Sure, I've got a million and one. I could talk to her all day long, but I know you guys have been. Some of you guys have been waiting here all day for her. So.
Yes. You sat in this room for weeks? We should go to a barbecue. Oh, great. Do you guys have any questions, thoughts, comments?
I see a
about
hand
random events?
right up in the back. The black sleeve.
I'm going to embarrass my husband. But
Okay.
You're one of our favorite shows, and it's almost like an episode that we have all over friendship. We love Lord, we love Dyson. Is there any plan to get both of them together?
Fair warning, there will be a little bit of talk about some stuff that's maybe not safe for work or kids.
It's going to be an hour of sex. Well, yeah, I mean, the threesomes come up quite a bit. But, what we had, where are you guys at? You're watching season 4 right now.
Yeah.
Well, we'll say that.
We've seen it all.
Has that episode happened?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So that's it. Yeah, there you go.
Not legally.
No.
We have a big orgy.
It happened.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever have an actual threesome. There is an episode that you may or may not have seen for one reason or another, legal or otherwise, where there's a taste of that, if you will. That was a poor choice of words. Anyway, there you have it. Next.
Right here in the suit.
Speaking of the whole sex and everything, threesomes,
For an hour.
your character, Dr. Laura, seems to kiss everybody, especially girls. Is there a member of the cast you haven't kissed yet and would like to?
Well, Casey, who plays Hale. Lauren and Hale have never made out. We do at home all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've kind of had a lot of action, really, haven't I?
Which one of you is the succubus?
I know, seriously, it's hard to tell this year. I asked the writers, what's happening? Every episode, I was like, holy cow. Everybody. It's hard after 4 seasons, I guess they just keep writing stuff.
Well, to be fair, and I'm actually going to lead into a question here. Your portrayal as a thoroughly wonderful, we'll just say not straight character.
Right.
She does have kind of her fluidity, has earned you recognition and awards. And how has that influenced you as an actor now?
I don't know if awards influence your performance necessarily, but it's certainly been lovely to be recognized. Both Anna and I don't take for granted ever that, you know, the relationship that we have on the show is really important, and it's a relationship that's not on most television screens, and so we recognize the importance of that, and it means the world to us that people have responded the way that they have. Sure, yeah, absolutely.
See the red, white, blue, Union Jack. Union Jack, I see it now.
I'm British. I love the Union Jack.
All I wanted to ask was, when you first got approached for this role, if you got approached or if you had to audition or whatever, and they told you you were going to be a human working with fairies, did you say, you know, oh, hey, I want to be a fairy instead? Why can't I be a succubus instead of the one? I mean, you have to be, first of all, knowledgeable about all this fairy shit stuff, all sorts of things, and, you know, you're like this really intelligent doctor who knows things that no one else knows.
Yeah.
Were you like, hey, why can't I be a fairy instead? Or did you want to be the, I mean...
Well, I came on
Do you go back and see your work? Do you revisit it?
Not much. I used to in the beginning, in the first little while, just to get a sense of what I was. You know, each character you bring something to on screen, and so it's important for you to see what you're doing in case you're making choices that aren't working. But now I don't. No, not 4 years later. It's a great show and everything, but I get a lot of it.
I am glad that the mics are now working.
Hello.
Sing for us.
I'm not necessarily sure that the one in the middle is on, but you know what?
This one's not on, is it?
It
No,
is.
it is.
Sing for us.
I'm just excruciatingly loud.
Oh, it's just that you're booming. Right.
I'm used. I do a radio show. I'm used to talking as well.
Right.
So,
Okay.
all right. Other questions? So I see here now.
For the episode with Ebony towards the end, I wanted. How did y'all get through that? Because there were so many one-liners in there that were just hilarious. Did y'all do a lot of takes for that, or did y'all pretty much?
I can't remember. I don't remember. Emmanuel's amazing to work with. She's such a pro. She's nothing like her character either. All of a sudden, I'm the loudest person.
There's fidgeting going on. Oh, wow.
No, that's good. People on planet Mars can hear me, which is good. We're all fidgeting. Yeah, she's fantastic to work with and a pro, you know. So I don't remember specifically if we had to do a pilot takes. I feel like we're always doing a pilot take. One scene takes hours to shoot. 3 pages is half a day, just because of the angles and the setups, and we do close-ups and wides, and yeah.
Do you guys find yourselves evolving into fits of giggles? Or
Sometimes Anna and I usually are laughing quite a bit. And I think I've told the story a million times, but we did a scene one time where we laughed so much during the scene that they just bailed. They just gave up, stopped shooting it, and we moved on. Because we couldn't actually get through it. Hey guys over there, how's it going? You want to join us up here? I think that's awesome. I'm fully having a full-blown conversation. Let's just wait and see how long it takes for them to notice. What are you guys talking about? What's going on? What's going on for them?
Everyone, one of the lovely organizers.
Yeah, there's a lot of very cool people, volunteers and otherwise, that have made this what it is. So a huge thank you to those guys, because we couldn't do it without them.
I see over here we've got our lovely camera.
Oh, yes.
Hi, I am a huge fan of Lost Girl,
Thank
but
you.
also a huge fan of a show called Instant Star.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And it's funny that you mentioned singing. How long have you been singing? How often do you get to
I don't sing unless I have to do it for camera.
Do you
I mean, I do it in the shower.
Yeah.
And my car. I do it tons in my car.
Do you like to sing, or is it something that stresses you out?
No, I do like it. I for sure like it. But I mean, it is stressful when you know that, the world might see it. that makes me a bit stressed out. But it's totally fun. Yeah, I mean, anytime you get to do something on camera that isn't usual as an actor, it's amazing. Yeah.
So then that begs the question of then leading in, do you tend to take parts that are something that's at least a grain of what you are, or a little bit more?
You have to find the grain of what you are in any character, no matter what it is, right? In order to connect, in order to find a place to start from. Or I do anyway, I shouldn't speak for everybody, but I try to find something that I can build from and then go from there.
So what is it in Dr. Lewis?
I don't know, I mean, we're both pretty nerdy. Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty geeky. Yeah.
Same. Nerdy actor.
I mean, I'm growing a lettuce right now. So no, this is true. I went over to a friend's house and she had a jar with these 3 sort of decrepit, dying lettuces sitting in water, but out of the tops of them are these little wee tiny green nubs. And I was like, what is that? That's amazing. What are you doing? So I'm just growing my lettuces. Once you chop off the heads, you can put them in water and they'll grow again. And I was like, oh my God, seriously? I went home and I did it. And now I'm growing lettuce. So I feel like Lauren would be thoroughly proud of me. I'm totally getting a phone call right now. Should I check it out now? You're on the air.
What do we have over here?
Right now it's kind of, serious on the show. Are there any pranks that are going on backstage to keep the mood?
Chris is the prankster. He's the one that does, he'll walk into the take with his guitar or his pants around his ankles. I have seen his pants around his ankles more than I've ever seen anything else in the world. And he has this trick he does, which totally, I don't get grossed out very easily, but I can't deal with anything nose oriented. I don't know why. You could throw up on me and I'd be like, well, what are you gonna do? But I don't want to know anything about what's going on with your nose. Like I just have, I don't know why it's a thing. And Chris, there's this stuff on they use it to like fix your microphone to you or whatever, and they call it snot, but it's this little like gooey glob of whatever. And Chris loves to stick it up his nose and let it hang out. And then he does, the camera's on you. So it's your coverage, and he's on the other side, and you have to do the whole, and he doesn't do it until right before they say action. And then you're doing the entire scene staring at this thing hanging out of his nose. And I want to punch him, because he knows that I don't like that.
Really? I would not have pegged him for the prankster.
He is a total prankster.
Jeez.
Yeah, he's the guy. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be him.
I see over here another hand.
Yeah, do they just present you the script and say, here's your character, or are you allowed artistic vision to say, I think this is what my character would do?
Oh, they're amazing. The writers on the show are really open to if there's something that you read that you go, this is so like outside of the realm of how I think Lauren would behave in this kind of a scenario. If you go to them and say, like, can we talk about this, because I just don't see her doing that, they're great about it. And sometimes, we go back and forth and we'll disagree on stuff, which I kind of love because it means that they're invested too. But they're really open to that kind of a conversation for sure.